your video. I gotta post that. That is just the most cutest thing. Oh my goodness. Oh.
I hope you're joking with all this baby talk.
I'm not. I'm not.
What's
Someone
happened
like
over the last 2 years?
what's happened? I've experienced life, Mr. Wolf.
Luke's become like a nature freak.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram, yo. Mr. Wolf got hit me up on Instagram.
Oh, brother.
You got an Instagram account, Mr. Wolf? I bet you do.
Yep.
I bet you
I
do.
play hard to get though. I never follow first. You have to earn it.
I don't follow first either. I don't either. So.
And if I see a deer video, corny deer video on yours, I'm definitely not gonna follow you. So post it and delete it or something.
Wait, what?
Put it on your mom's Facebook where it belongs.
No, I won't post it.
I think I'm ready when you two are.
Yep. I'm ready. I'm hungry, so let's do this.
Whose fault's that? You could have been eating while I was eating.
No, because I didn't know how long it would be. And then I would be somewhere and you'd be like, Luke, where are you at? I'd be like, I'm eating. And then you get all mad at me. So, no.
Better not be Popeyes.
That's exactly what would have happened. Okay. Well, I guess you could call this the official comeback episode of the Smorgasbord.
Don't call it a comeback.
Oh. What should I call it then?
That was LL Cool J. Never mind.
I'll just cut that out.
Ooh.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years.
Oh, that's a Cool J reference.
What?
Are you gonna re-edit it to make it sound like you're hip hop?
Oh my gosh.
Name the song if you know it.
Name the song?
Do you even know who LL Cool J is?
Of course I do. Do you know who he is?
It's from.
No, it's Mama
So
Said Knock
it's-
You Out. That's the name of the song.
Oh wow, that took you a little bit. It took you a little bit.
I you know.
Yeah, I'm
And
wondering.
I didn't just look that up.
Yeah, I know. It's like someone could have sent it to you or something.
Did you send it to me?
I don't want to make accusations.
You didn't send it to me. Oh wait, no, there it is. It's in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I may or may not Google it. Okay, we're going off the rails here. So, welcome back. This is not the comeback. Don't call it a comeback, because it's not a comeback of the Smorgasbord. I am Nathan.
I am Luke.
Enthusiastic. I'm Graham.
Hey, I'm hungry.
That would have been a
Nice
funnier
to meet you.
introduction.
Someone would not let me get Popeyes, even though I live literally down the street from it. But that's all right. I'm not gonna name names. So
And that's
That's
that's it. All right, call it a wrap.
Might as well.
So where did we leave off in the Smorgasbord?
no one
Seems
knows
I remember-
that. That was like 3
Nobody
months ago.
knows. I think I've got 4 or 5 unrecorded.
Someone did know. I'd be really
unedited
kind of
episodes.
disturbed by that. I don't know. I think we're probably talking about the stupid games that we bought for like $5. And we said we were going to play.
Oh, we still got to do that.
I've still got it. Pimp My Ride on Xbox 360.
I broke mine because I was a piece of crap game. I got stuck in the first level.
You broke it?
Yeah, I broke. Yeah, $5. Wasted. I could have bought a McDonald's meal for that, but
You're really hung up on this McDonald's.
dude, Popeyes, fool. I never have said McDonald's. I said
You're gonna make me do
Popeyes.
a lot of editing here, just cutting all this out.
No, keep it in. We need it. We need the freshness. I provide the freshness, just like my Popeyes. This is not a sponsored podcast, by the way.
Not
But we are
sponsored
open to it.
But yeah, we are open to it. Please.
by- All right. Well, Luke, how about you get us started with our, opening segment of what you've been playing?
I've been playing Ghost Recon Wildlands.
greatly underestimated it when I first came in. Thought it would be similar to the Division, but it's very, very different. Map is ginormous, and usually some games when they have a really big map, they don't do enough. They don't provide enough missions and things to do within the map. But Ghost Recon does a very good job of keeping you busy and making it so each part of the map's very different. And so it's not like you're doing the same type of missions each time. There's different scenarios, different forts, and environmental, I guess you could say, obstacles that make it so it kind of challenges you in some ways.
What system are you on? I played the beta on PC for about 45 minutes and it didn't grip me. What system are you on?
I'm on the Xbox One, and I heard my friends. I couldn't get a beta because Ubisoft is kind of stupid. But I heard it was really trash. The beta, like my friends were like, yeah, this game feels like a sack of wet cardboard, to quote one of them. And I was like, oh, it probably doesn't sound that good. But I've played it and I've been thoroughly impressed. Maybe I went into it with such low expectations that I'm now think this game is good. But I've been playing it since Saturday and I haven't gotten bored of it yet. So I think it's about your perspective.
You say you're not bored of it, but it's only been out for a week.
It's been out for 2 weeks, but I've been playing it since Saturday. I mean, some games like this, like The Division, I played it for maybe 2 days and I was already bored of it. I mean, and that was playing with friends too. So I'm just saying the game for me has yet to, because some games you can tell right from the bat, you rent it and then you play it for 2 days, and after the second day you're kind of okay, it's the same thing. With me, I just keep wanting to play it. So maybe there's been a lack of interesting games in the last year that I just have not been captivated, so my standards are low. But so far, I've been impressed. It's not perfect, but I don't know. If I was going to choose between this game and the Mass Effect that just came out, I'd probably choose Ghost Recon, and that'd probably surprise a lot of people. But I've seen a lot of negativity coming from the Mass Effect, just gameplay wise and how it operates and runs. And I was I wasn't too impressed. I mean, with Ghost Recon, you kind of know what you're getting, and so. But I was kind of shocked that Mass Effect was getting some negative reviews from a lot of the fans and players. So I guess I'll pass my baton to Mr. Wolf. Mr. Wolf, what have you been playing?
I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, that one of my friends calls Horizon Dark 30, which has caught on pretty well for a name. Definitely a solid game combination, I would argue, of Far Cry and Tomb Raider. Both games that I enjoy. Far Cry 4 I liked a lot. Far Cry 3 is almost identical in every way to Far Cry 4. And I haven't played the new Far Cry Primal. But Horizon is pretty good. The story is real interesting. How much spoiler territory can I wade into?
Well, it's not for the Xbox One, so spoil
it's
away.
not?
I believe.
Yeah, it's exclusive. Yeah, I think it's coming out on PC
too.
eventually.
Yeah. So spoil away if you want. I have no.
I want to touch on Horizon Zero Dawn later in the podcast, as well as Wildlands. So you might hold your spoilers till then, but
I'll hold. But I have been playing it quite a bit. Story is solid, gameplay is solid, doesn't get old, the combat. Nice little break. I'm wanting to get back into Fallout 4. I'm in the process of upgrading my PC to the new AMD Ryzen processors. So I got a new motherboard, got the RAM. I'm just waiting on the CPU. And I also got a new 27-inch FreeSync monitor, 1440, and it is redonkulous, basically. Been playing, busted out some Borderlands 2 with a few of the gang, and that's been really slick on it. FreeSync means it matches the refresh rate of the game that you're playing. It was really cool. Buttery smooth. in 1440s. Looks great, even better than 1080. So the monitor's been treating me well. I just finished playing through Dying Light again, co-op, and that was very fun.
On PC or
on PC? Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
That's the short version of what I've been playing.
Well, I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 1 on Xbox One, as well as I've still been dabbling in Fallout 4. It's been a long time since Fallout, and by a long time, I mean, 2 years since Fallout's been out. But I continue to, find new ways that it entertains me.
Give us some examples.
Well, just recently, went and saw the film Logan in theaters. I would highly recommend going to see it. Very good movie, very solid. Compelling story, great characters. Anyway, so I created my own Logan character in Fallout 4 on survival mode, and I've kind of been doing a Wolverine build with mods, so that's been fun.
You're really doing survival mode? Tell us how that's treating you.
Well, I'll tell you, before we even fired up the podcast, I was doing a little bit of Fallout earlier, and I've been kind of trying to stick to the Sanctuary Hills area, just setting up a base of operations, getting plenty of food, purified water, power, all that good stuff. And I decided to venture out a little ways into kind of closer to the city, near, like, approaching Diamond City. And I was attacked by a bunch of feral ghouls. And didn't die, but managed to cripple one of my legs and both my arms. I had nothing to heal myself with or to fix broken limbs. Since you can't fix limbs yourself, you got to see a doctor. So I hobbled, just crawling all the way back to my little safe place. And I made the mistake of saving by going to bed, thinking that I'd get up the next morning and kind of just hobble back into Diamond City and be healed. And I can say I haven't made it yet into Diamond City. I've been close, but I've been shot by raiders. I've been killed by super mutants. I've been mauled by more dogs and other ghouls. So after dying about 5 or 6 times trying to make my way back into Diamond City, I turned it off, and here's where we are. So hasn't been going the best, but that's only to be expected in survival mode.
Yeah.
Did you even do the first mission with the Deathclaw?
Oh no! I'm not even going to touch that. As I told Luke earlier this week, I'm trying to make this a character that just goes out, does side missions, maybe some larger quests as well, but I'm not going to touch the storyline at all. So,
yeah, I started a survival account, and I got pretty high up. I got like to maybe level 15 or so, level 15 or 20, and once you take like a break from it and you try to come back to it, it's like, don't even bother, because it's so hard to come back to survival mode after you haven't played it for so long. I don't know, like, you get in a rhythm. If you keep playing it, you get like in a rhythm and how you operate and how you play things and how you go about missions and collecting stuff. And oh man, and I took like 4 or 5 months off, and I got back to it, and terrible. So Nathan, if you're gonna do this, you got to commit all the way.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm not sure if I'll be able to with all my broken limbs. And
that's the
unless I can find like a doctor in the wasteland that can heal me. But
Like
Now, let me
survival.
ask you, how else have you enjoyed the game other than survival? Because I kind of want something in between, because I quick save so much that it kind of breaks the game and you get so high level. But survival's too much. I know exactly what Luke's saying. When you play, you're like, okay, I wake up. I've got to be sure I've got this and this and this. I need food as I go out. I need to check my inventory and be sure I'm not too heavy. As I'm going out, I need to watch that the day's not passing too fast. I need to find a safe route to get there and back. So I know what you mean by it being, you have to get in a rhythm. So what else do you guys do, like to challenge yourself, I guess, or to make the game fun?
Actually, Luke and I were gonna do a bit of a fun challenge with one another earlier this week, but I needed to update my system, and we just never had time to do it. But we like to make little challenges that we do while the other's online and in a party. Like, for instance, we'll start at Sanctuary Hills as a level 1, and you can make it the farthest across the map into the glowing sea without being killed. Just small challenges like that I've found have been pretty entertaining. But
survival mode is challenging enough. Like, if I feel like I need I know you mean like something in between the middle. Either that or, I'll raise up the difficulty. But the thing is, like, I added on my main account, I added all these mods, and I like totally just ruined my account. It's just like mods are great, but you get so many in there that kind of ruins the true experience. So now it's like really easy because I have like some guns and armor that's like really, really insanely tough and good. So I don't know. I don't know a good medium. I mean, I guess it's like what you make it to be. I guess. I just think survival mode is like the perfect example of that. I don't know. Because it's hard, but it's manageable though. You can make it. You just can't be stupid.
Yeah. Something else I'll do is like with this character, I'm not focusing on the main quest at all because I've played through the main quest about 3 or 4 times now. I'll do other quests that I haven't really focused much attention on, such as this last summer I completed the Nuka World quest, like the entire story with that, as well as not to spoil anything for anybody who wants to play it, but as well as coming back into the Commonwealth and performing some stuff that you get to do as a leader of the Raider gangs. But anyway, I focused on that as a level 1, and the initial rating or the initial level that they suggest you start at is like 30. So I mean, it provided plenty of challenges trying to work my way through there as a level 1. But all in all, I'd say it was worth it. I really enjoyed it. But have you played through Nuka World, Mr. Wolf?
That was the last one, or one of the later ones, right?
Yeah, that was the very last one.
Yeah, I guess I'm saving that one, or that's the only one I haven't done of the season pass DLC. The other one's
my favorite, I'd say, of the DLC.
Yeah, it gives you a lot to do. Like, I don't know. The other one, what was the other one? Like the
Harbor
Island, Far Harbor. Like that one. Like once you beat it, though, it's like I don't really go back to it. Nuka World, it's like you can go back to it, and there's always like side quests to do.
Well, why would you go back to Far Harbor? I mean,
well, you can't because you killed everyone. You killed everyone off. So
I did.
Like, nope. When you told me, like I was like, oh my gosh, like.
Well, I'll touch that briefly. So what happened is in Far Harbor, you end up. I guess I'll say spoilers from here on out on everything we talk about because there's just so much.
It's been like a year. You should have people should.
You should have played it by now. Yeah. Just skip ahead, and hopefully you won't find any.
Who's gonna listen to this? Your girlfriend? She's not a Fallout, and Luke's mom. I don't think they're in the Fallout game. So
I thought it was Luke's grandma that watches this or listens. To this. Oh, your mom.
Okay. Mom,
sorry, Mrs. Entz.
My friends from Illinois, who
you did not just say Illinois. You just lost them,
Illinois.
whoever they were.
No, I say Illinois, but they're always like, well, I don't know. They were trying to confuse me one time. So now, like, super
Mission
confused. They're like, no, they're like, yeah, you say it with the S at the end. I'm like, no, you don't. They're like, yeah, you do. And so
I'd say you're pretty confused already.
So I say Illinois. I used to. Now I'm like Illinois.
Anyway,
hey,
so
as long as they
you
say
get a choice.
Arkansas,
Oh my gosh! Nobody cares about your state enunciation.
yeah, they do. They do. All right. The people care, Nathan.
Anyway, you get a choice in Far Harbor on which group of civilians you side with, and I tried to side with the synths at first, and I told the synth leader, you need to go down there and tell them that you ended up, killing one of their own and all that good stuff. Well, he went down there and he agreed, and he told them, and I was thinking, okay, hopefully my persuasion checks will be able to keep everybody riled down, from uprising. And well, they formed a lynch mob and killed him, and then they stormed the synth hall or whatever and killed off all the synths, and I got paid, and I was thinking, man, that's not how I wanted that to go. So I was really upset with the town people, but I was like, at this point, my whole story or my whole game's ruined. So I went back to the cranky old fisherman guy who ends up wanting the Children of Adam destroyed. And I told him, okay, I'll do it for money. So I went in there and I killed off the Children of Adam by detonating their submarine, and came back to him, got paid a lot more, and I decided, you know what, I'm just really done with these town folk. Like, they're just, I don't know, they're driving me crazy. So I went to the windmill generators and I turned off the windmill generators and watched as the town was devoured by fog crawlers and all sorts of creatures. Ooh. So there's nobody left alive on that map.
That's going to be an awkward boat ride with the guy who gives you a ride back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He sees all these dead bodies. Everywhere's just you. It's like, what?
He's like, did you find my daughter at least? It's like,
about that.
That's awkward. Okay, Luke, let's touch on Wildlands a little bit since you brought it up, and then we'll go into talking about Horizon Zero a little bit after that.
Horizon Dark 30.
Okay. Or yeah, Horizon Dark 30.
Wildlands. I don't know if like.
Why are you yelling?
Because my mic. Okay, I have my headset on, but I'm using my Turtle Beaches like feeding my like when I would talk, I could kind of hear my voice in the through like my Xbox controller.
Sorry, I asked for.
But like I'm plugging it through the laptop, so I can't really hear much. So I am shouting because I have to hear myself.
Okay, great.
But well, it's a good design feature for the Xbox or whatever.
Oh, great.
Pretty much I don't know if have you played The Division, Mr. Wolf?
Yeah, we played it quite a bit right when it came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Ubisoft, I don't know, like they make these games and like they're popular for like the first month and then it kind of fades out. Like after like a few weeks of playing The Division, like I never heard anything from it again. I mean, I stopped playing it, but like even in the gamer culture, like I never saw any like DLC, like popular DLC or anything. I never made like, I think now it's starting to make a revive itself again, but I was kind of like, oh, Ghost Recon is going to be like that. Like it has, it's going to be like decent gameplay, but pretty soon you're going to do a lot of these missions and it's going to be like Destiny, which is going to like pretty much force you to play multiplayer to, get items and do all that. And I really don't like that because I'm like, well, sometimes they try to make an RPG game into a multiplayer type based game with like versus and all of that, and I don't like that too much because at the end of the day they don't focus so much on the single player aspect like in Destiny. They just kind of oh yeah, here's some missions and here's a campaign in quotation marks, and now I go play multiplayer. So Ghost Recon's not like that. I mean, it's just co-op. I don't think there's any verses in it, and so it's just co-op. And there's quite a bit of missions, and kind of like I mentioned before, all the missions and like the different, they kind of have the same maybe type of, they're kind of like the same in some ways, but it's just the map is so diverse. And since a lot of the fortresses and towns are so different, that it makes you approach each one kind of differently. So you can either go loud and just start mowing people down and go all like Arnold Schwarzenegger and just destroy the whole town, but you get killed pretty quick, and then you have to like restart. And then I like to do the more stealthy way because it's more fun. You have a drone, you can spot people, and if you have like AI, you can synchronize like your sniper shots, so you can like take out 3 dudes at a time.
Now, remind me before you go further. Have you played with any of your friends, or is it totally?
Not yet. So far, it's just totally been single player, just by myself. Which is amazing that I've still played it this long by myself. I think that's another cool aspect. I don't know. It's weird. I've been playing it this long. Nathan might get it, but so far I've been playing it by myself. And if no one else gets it, I won't probably buy it just because I'm like, well, I mean, it'll be kind of like Titanfall. Like I really like Titanfall, but I don't have any friends that play it, and so it's kind of like I don't like playing games by myself for a super long time. But so far, the AI that you work with on your team aren't stupid. They don't just like get you caught or killed. They kind of stand back while you do a lot of the stuff, and they'll come revive you if you get shot. And, so I just like the game mainly because there's a lot of customization with weapons and your character, and you can make them look pretty cool, and you can add on a lot of stuff to your guns. And I don't know. I think it's just a cool game. There hasn't been. I mean, I kind of wish like Destiny was kind of like this, with like a free roam type of universe or whatever, and you can just go where you want to go and do operations how you want to do them. And so Ghost Recon kind of gives you that freedom to tackle the mission however you want to, and I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't limit you in that, and just like even gameplay wise, it's a little wonky when it comes to cover system. There's no direct button like in like Grand Theft Auto or Gears of War, games like that where you press a button and you kind of go to cover. There's none of that. You just go up to a wall and it automatically kind of does this covering system for you, and it's kind of wonky, but you kind of learn to work with it. So that's like my only complaint. But yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with the game. And I don't think it'll be super popular, and I don't think a whole lot of people will think it's like, oh, this is the best game ever. But for me, like paying $7 to rent a game and for 5 days, I mean, it's like it's really good entertainment for $7. I mean, and I get immersive into games like this. So for me, I mean, it's a good game. I'll have to see how it goes on, and I'm not committed to buy it just yet. But for a rental, like it's a great rental. So that's all I have to say.
Do you remember Crackdown?
Yes, yeah. I played like the first one a long time ago.
Because that's another one, open world, and like where the bosses are. You just have to go in and get them, and you can't really do it till you're strong enough.
Yeah. I would say it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that aspect. Yeah, I mean, again, there's always like they can always do more to make the game better. But from like just the way my friends described it, I thought it was just going to be a really crappy game. Like, oh, this is just slop, But so maybe my expectations were just really low. So that's, I think, maybe a part of why I'm really enjoying it. And I mean, there's things that they can do better. There's things I wish they had that they don't have. But then again, I'm like, well, I mean, so far I've been enjoying it. And yeah, if anyone else is listening to this, go rent it. It is definitely worth $7 for 5 days. So,
Okay, I'm going to give you 3 categories. Okay, you've got buy it, rent it, or trash it.
Ooh.
Are you saying rent it?
Snap it in half.
yeah,
Snap it.
I'm
Buy it,
definitely
rent
saying
or
rent
snap
it. I'm a kind of guy. I'm really hesitant when it comes to buying video games. I used to sometimes the last I've had maybe one impulse buy in my life, and that was like The Witcher and Witcher 3.
Ooh.
And I got it, and I thought it'd be like another Skyrim where I would totally immersed into it. It came with all the DLC too, and I just could not get into it for the life of me. I could not get into it. I put a solid week into it, and I was just like, it's not the game I thought I'd really enjoy. And so I sold it. I got gypped, of course, by GameStop. It's like a month later, I sold it back for like half the price, and it was ridiculous. But
I would have bought it from you.
It's good. I like The Witcher. I played. You didn't play
Yeah.
The Witcher 2 though, did you?
No.
The mechanics of the game are just really, they're so different from Skyrim. You have to wrap your mind around how combat
It's
works.
hard. It's hard. I mean, the way you combat wise is really. I mean, that's not what I didn't like about it. I just could not get into the environment. I couldn't get into. I just couldn't get into it. I mean, not saying it was a trashy game or anything. It was really well made. There's just some games that you just can't get into. I mean, kind of like movies or TV shows, they can be really good, but if you can't get into it, so that is one game where I'm I just kind of impulse bought it, and Timefall it's a great game. Actually, it's a great multiplayer game. Probably one of my top ones. The reason I don't play it as much anymore is I get way too competitive when I play it. So that was another kind of impulse buy. But so I'm very cautious when it comes to buying games. So I always just recommend rent it. So I think it's a great renter game for 5 days, because who knows, maybe by Thursday I'm like, okay, I'm done with it. So I say rent it. Don't trash it. And you can buy it, but
It's snap it. Don't snap.
don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I have to
How
say.
about Zero Dark 30 Horizon 30?
Took me forever to get the name right. The appeal or the story of the game is interesting. Because Far Cry Primal, I was never really interested in creeping around through bushes and spearing people and sending that corny eagle up in the air to see what's going on.
Okay, then you're not gonna like Ghost Recon. That's pretty much Ghost Recon. But.
Yeah, I remember using the drone. The drone was different, but it's interesting because you're in this primal world where everything looks like kind of the early Americas, but there's these machine monster animal. I keep calling one a dragon, although my friend insists it's a bird, which I don't know many birds that breathe fire, but there's all these machines all over that just prowl the areas. There's not people commanding them necessarily, although later in the game you find out people are trying to corrupt them and use them for their own purposes. But you start the game as a little girl and you're in these ruins and you find this little device you put on your head. It's called a focus, and all of a sudden you can interact with the technology. It creates an orb around you. You can scan data. When you find PDAs in ruins and stuff like that, you can hear the audio logs. There's vantage points and stuff like that. And you find these artifacts of the old world, as they call it, which is kind of the times that we're living in. So it kind of unravels the mystery of, what's going on, how this stuff is buried underground, all these mechanical areas. There's these robot dinosaurs and alligators and birds and what else? Some dinosaur type ones too, like a T-Rex one. But you also have different types of weapons where you can kind of blow off parts of their armor. You can you can knock turrets off of them and then pick them up and use it against them, stuff like that. So it's unraveling. I'm starting to find out more about how this happened, because this is several hundred years after whatever major event happened where these robots showed up all of a sudden without spoiling too much. But the game is doing a good job of keeping me interested in the main mission, getting me to come back for more. And I've learned with these open world games, Fallout's kind of the exception. I'll play that no matter what. But really important for me to keep going on the main story and just hope for New Game Plus or that I can do more after, because I go so far off the deep end doing all the side quests, and I kind of enjoy like map clearing and stuff like that, where you go to one point and get all the collectibles, and then go to the next point and do all whatever is there. So it's helped keeping me on track, sticking with the main story. Also, you can follow me on Twitch. I should probably know my username. I think it's ProtoV or ProtoV4.
Little self plug there. I like that.
Hey, does the setting take place like in our world, or is it just a made up world?
It is on planet Earth.
Okay. Is it like in the future? And like, I mean, I don't know how like the timeline is, or some alternate universe stuff, or
yes,
I think that's what
moderate spoiler. That's really not a spoiler. It's about 300 or 400 years into the future from now-ish.
Okay.
Like the big event, again, without giving away too much, would probably be happening, I don't remember exact dates, probably like 50 years from today.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more advanced.
I'd say you could drop a spoiler. I mean, we kind of hit spoiler territory already. But
because I still don't know the whole story yet, but spoiler, you could probably spoil the whole game with one word, and it'd be RoboCop. That they started using these machines to patrol and to maintain order and peace, and this one giant corporation starts building them. And eventually they went out of control and started self-replicating by using biomass as fuel, meaning like eating humans or using humans as fuel. So these robots kind of took over the world. And interestingly, where was I going with that? I called it interesting and lost it. Interestingly, what happened? You have some relation to your ancestor, apparently from 300 or 400 years ago, because you gain access into one of these entry points. It's a scanning DNA of user, and it says you have a 99.67% match with this lady. We'll let you in to one of these places. So you find out that your ancestor of some type was responsible for what's called Project Zero Dawn. And I'm still in the process of finding out exactly what that was, but you find these holograms that are kind of like videos you watch or holograms within the environment. And they're like, she's interacting with all these generals and important people and this corporation that made all these robots, and now they've gone haywire. So at this point in the story, I just saw the one where it's like, we're going to do Project Zero Dawn. Please help us. And I've kind of explored a bunker where there are all this kind of massive robots that had all tried to get into this bunker at the last minute. But I still don't know what the actual Project Zero Dawn is yet. But I think I'm closing in on it.
That's pretty cool.
How many hours have you put into this?
Probably 25-ish hours.
Oh, yeah.
But I've pretty much cleared the side quests as they come up. A lot of people like the game because it handles the menu so well. Not only does it manage your side quests for you, and it's got stuff like Fallout where you can track items and resources that you need for crafting. But a cool thing is it shows you how many footsteps you are away, like your distance from the missions. So if you finish something, you're just looking down that menu, you can see, well, I'm closest to this one that I can go to. And you can fast travel a little bit at the beginning of the game, but eventually you get this golden fast travel pack where you can fast travel anywhere from point to point. So, mechanically, I don't have any big complaints about the game.
Is it first person or third person?
Third person. And the combat's good. A lot of rolling. You've got your focus. You can go into like semi-slow motion for certain points. You scan all these machines as you roll up on them, and it shows you where they're vulnerable and to what type of like ammo. Are they vulnerable to shock? It's called Terror Blast ammo, where it's like an arrow that goes in and doesn't do damage, but then it like explodes with a lot of force, so it'll blow off parts of their armor and expose different things you could hit. It was kind of cool.
So you got a 9.3 out of 10 from IGN and a 89% from Metacritic. Would you agree with those scores? Or?
Yeah, and it was a semi-impulse buy for me because I don't buy stuff day one very often. But with Amazon Prime now, I get 20% off, so it makes most games like $46, $47.
Oh, yeah.
But when I saw that review, and I knew that'd be a good tide over to keep me going until Fallout 4, I can start again with the new with the HD texture pack that's on PC now. and at 1440. I'm looking forward to that. But it would definitely be a buy recommendation. If you like Tomb Raider at all, if you like Far Cry at all, it's the Far Cry in that you go to an area and you climb not giraffes, whatever dinosaur had the super long necks. You climb to the top of them, and then it like clears the fog off the map. You can see everything that's going on. But it works kind of like Far Cry. There's bandit outposts you have to clear, and then you take over them. So if you like either of those games, definitely, highly recommend.
And it's a PS4 exclusive, correct?
Yepers.
Gotcha. So buy it.
Absolutely.
Rent it. Trash it.
Buy it.
Buy it. All right.
Everything he just said, trash it. Just trash it.
Trash it.
What about you? Or
what? No, go for it. What were you gonna say?
Time out. Never mind. I had a brain fart there.
Don't worry, Luke. We'll edit that out.
Yeah. All right. Were you gonna say anything?
I was gonna say, how much do you know about the new Mass Effect game? Mass Effect Andromeda? Am I pronouncing that right?
I hope you're joking.
I always just said Armageddon.
Andromeda?
Andromeda is how you pronounce it, but henceforth I will definitely be pronouncing it Andromeda.
Andromeda.
I have a friend who got it last night. He's a pretty hardcore Mass Effect fan, and his friends were giving him crap because there's a lot of gameplay and cutscenes issues where it just, like they're pouring a drink and like the liquid, like the way the graphics and everything are, it looks like jelly, or just like coming out of the whatever you call it, the
trash it. The liquids aren't realistic.
Yeah, they aren't. That, and like there was like a fight scene, and like the person like hit the air and the other guy like fell down, and it just looked really crummy. The matchmaking in it, it's kind of like loot box. So you start with really crappy loot boxes, and you move up to really good ones. So it's like a grind type multiplayer. So you just have to put in like a lot of hours to get good loot boxes. And I don't know. What really hurt the Mass Effect franchise was the ending to Mass Effect 3, and it was like there's all this built up tension and suspension, and all of a sudden it's like the ending was just crap. And for a lot of fans, that just was not okay. So I haven't heard too much about it. I haven't even looked up the reviews on it, but I don't know if Mr. Wolf, have you heard anything? Have you heard anything on it?
I watched some of the multiplayer like preview or beta on Twitch, and it didn't look very fun. Some of my friends really liked Mass Effect most for that kind of horde mode in Mass Effect 3. But I've never played a lot of that. I can see why they like it, but that definitely wouldn't be my main interest in Mass Effect. Part of the reason why I'm rebuilding the PC was also for Mass Effect Andromeda, and it'll be because the requirements are so high on it. I'd be lucky if it ran it on like all the worst settings as it is. So I wanted eventually, but the more I saw getting closer, the less I was trying to do it day one, I guess. And really, it's hard to get interested in it since you don't know anyone in the game anymore. Since it's it's like 100 years after, and Shepard's dead, obviously. They're not going to be in the Citadel. They're not going to be in the Normandy, the ship. So with a whole new cast, and even the promo videos, it doesn't have like the character of the first three games, I guess. So I'm still definitely interested, and I'd probably even pay $60 for it once it's time. But I'm also not in a huge rush. Yeah. Either.
I think it'd be a good summer game because I don't think there's any games coming out in the summer that are huge. Red Dead. I mean, Red Dead's to come out.
That's winter, I think.
Next winter, yeah. It doesn't come out. It doesn't come out till the end of like 2017. So I think it'd be a good summer game to get. because it looks. I mean, it looks. The graphics look good. The storyline is going to be pretty decent. The combat would be what it usually is. It always has cool decision making where your decisions affect sometimes the outcome of the ending. I don't know. I'm not gonna just flat out say, "Oh, it sucks," because I haven't played it. But judging from how the last one ended, I hope they've learned that to make the ending not so absolute and crappy.
Terminal.
Gosh, yeah.
No pun intended.
They had to create DLC for the ending. I mean, that's how bad it was. They had to practically make a new type of ending.
When the fans had a better storyline than they actually did with the indoctrination theory. You remember that?
Oh no!
Fill us in.
Am I getting too nerdy for you?
Well,
yeah.
On the other,
of course. No, joking.
Indoctrination theory. The fans came up with it, and it is. If you played any Mass Effect, it's pretty fascinating. If you go to YouTube and just type in Mass Effect indoctrination theory, the idea is that it's never even mentioned in the main storyline of 1, 2, or 3 that over the course of the 3 games, Shepard had actually been indoctrinated to work for the Reapers. And it's it plays, all it is clips of audio from the game and all these video clips. And it's defining what indoctrination is. And it's you think you're making decisions that are good and they're bad. And you're really you're going down the path we've marked for you. It made sense. And the DLC you're talking about actually fixed it to make it very clear that wasn't the case at the end of the game. Because it's
interesting. That's why they, that's,
yeah.
Wow.
So the video is pretty mind blowing until BioWare patched it and was nope, can't be that.
But BioWare's oh crap, they come out with something better than we have, and I mean, it was kind of Lost. I felt I don't know if you guys have watched the ending to Lost, but it's kind of you had these 3 games, and they all kind of they was going to build up to something with the Reapers at the end. Each game kind of hinted towards the Reapers, and you're yeah. And when the game starts off, the Reapers attack that, and so that was a problem. Is whoa, they're already attacking, already destroying planets, and then you're ending. You're talking to some child thing, and it's just I don't know. It's just the way, I don't mind Commander Shepard dying at the end, but I don't know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, but yeah, I think there's always hope for the new one. I wasn't let's grant it. Yeah, I wasn't a huge Mass Effect fan, but I don't know. Nathan, have you played the Mass Effect games?
I haven't, actually. I haven't played a single one of them. Just hasn't been something I've gotten to.
Yeah, they're very good. One's kind of dry, but 2 are very, very good. I've played them multiple times, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 is my favorite, just because of the way the last mission went. It just was really crazy. It really mattered if you took care, if you upgraded your ship and how good your relationships were with your crew, that really and how well you knew your crew, which ones, if their abilities would help a situation or not. So that was another thing that it just was really cool, because your decision, the first time I played it, I probably got all but 2 of my crew members killed. The end, it shows the caskets, and there was so many. I was oh man, I really screwed up. I didn't upgrade my ship, so a missile hit our ship and killed 2 people, and I was oh man. So
oh yeah.
I just did some real poor choices, because it was my first Mass Effect. I didn't play Mass Effect 1, so I didn't know what I was doing. But yeah, I think there's, I don't know. I kind of want to play. I mean, I was going to either rent that or Wildlands this week, and I knew that I knew everyone was going to try to rent Mass Effect, so I figured, well, I'll just go to Wildlands. But yeah, maybe this summer I can play it.
All right. Well, I'd say that's a pretty good place for us to come to a close here, come to a wrap. Maybe discuss a couple things that are in the works, a couple things that we may be planning.
Next episode on the Smorgasbord.
In 1 year.
Yeah, next year in 2018, we're gonna be rolling out.
Oh man.
No, we've got a couple of things I want to try. Obviously, we got to get those $5 games out. Luke's gonna have to pick another $5 game, I guess.
No, I'm not wasting any more. Nope. Heck no.
It costs the same amount as a.
Don't you have a NASCAR game
I'll
you could
get
give
more
them?
pleasure out of a big.
No, those are priceless. Those are priceless, Mr. Wolf. Well, I don't think Luke could break any of my NASCAR games. I would give you NASCAR Thunder 2003, Luke.
Oh man, I have that for PS2.
You have to break this.
No.
Anyway, we'll be getting on the board the $5 game train again. Maybe hopefully filming some actual gameplay on the PVR of each game.
Mm-hmm.
And then would really like to do some Fallout challenges with all three of us in person on the PVR as well. So, a lot of video stuff coming up, hopefully, that we can do. And I'd also love to get back into some really crummy movies. I've been missing my B movies.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, we watched like 2 that were just, oh man.
Oh, yeah.
They were really, yeah.
Let me propose The Water Boy. Just showed up on Netflix.
That's good with Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler. Well,
yeah.
I liked it. I'd be curious to know if it held up since high school when I watched it for the last time.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for a long time, so I don't know. I've done that with movies where I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this since I was a kid, and you watch it, and you're like, oh, geez, this is outdated.
The
like
Water Boy
Power Rangers, Morphin Rangers movie. Oh, that used to be my favorite, and I watched like a thing on it, and I'm like, geez, was I on drugs when I was a kid? Like, why did my parents have me watch that crap?
Well, anyway, we got a lot of interesting stuff coming up that hopefully we'll get to. But, yeah.
All right. Peace out.
You can't just end it like that. Can't just say peace out.
Peace out, yeah, we can. Yeah, I'm taking over this smorgasbord.
Oh. I want you to...
I don't want to do all the technical crap, so...
In order to leave, I need you to give us a final quote, Luke, something that we can all relish and think about until next week.
Mr. Wolf, you have. Let me think of one.
I'll give you a head start. Here's the 3 things you need to know about life, according to Luke.
There you go.
Now finish it, Luke. Go ahead.
Oh, dental. Get dental. Get good dental, not just any kind of dental. Get good dental insurance. That's where. Yep.
Okay, that's one thing.
Wait, am I listening 3D?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought okay. Get good dental insurance. That's for some reason hard to say. Don't date your half sister, and the movie Arrival is greatly under talked about.
I will agree with you there. I loved The Arrival, but we'll touch on that next week. Love that movie.
Really good movie. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
peace out.